highway train accident in Odisha's Balasore district between the Bengaluru-Howrah Superfast Express, the Coromandel Express and a goods train has left over 288 people dead while over 1,000 others have been injured. Prime Minister Modi is slated to visit the accident site. He also chaired a high-level meeting with the railway officials to review the situation of the Odisha train accident. Now, Home Minister AM Chowdhary was also part of this emergency meeting that took place. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav also took stock of the situation and has ordered a probe into the incident. Now, we have CNN News 18's Akash Sharma joining us to get us more. Akash, over to you.
So, Aisha, first of all, this is a very unfortunate incident. In fact, in the last decade, I don't remember any incident of such an intensity. But this is the panel, the signal panel, in fact, on the basis of which the whole signaling system works. And we have been told that there are two lines, basically up and down line. These are the two operational lines on which normally train operates. And other than the up and down line, we have these loop lines as well. So loop lines are used to give some sort of rest to a train. A goods train can be, it can be a goods train as well. Now we are learning on the up loop line, we had a goods train already standing. And after that, when Coromandel Express, came to this particular spot, a signal was given. A signal was given for the up line, but rather than going to the up line, in fact, the signal was first given and was taken off, and the train entered into the loop line and dashed to the goods train that was already standing. Now, it is on the basis of sources. We have no confirmation, but experts say that it is not technically possible. So it is not possible that you are giving a signal for up line and train can go to loop line. It has to be a human error or the technical fault. So it's a matter of inquiry, and in fact, in some days from now, we'll be getting as to what actually happened. But as of now, we are getting a number of developments, and Ashwini Vaishnav was very much there on the spot. In fact, we are learning that several other leaders are visiting the particular site. Rescue operation as far as railways is concerned, so railways is categorically mentioning that rescue work is almost done. In fact, those who were stranded have been sent to their respective places, because other than the passengers who were actually traveling, who are actually injured, there are several other passengers who were stranded because of the train accident. And now these passengers, in fact, several vehicles have been arranged for these passengers, and these passengers have been sent to their respective destinations. Also, compensation has been announced by Rail Minister, but as of now, the whole focus is, yes, of course, the rescue work, and second, the cause of this particular incident as to what actually happened. Rail Ministry has clarified that we did not have coverage system on this particular line. Coverage system is basically a system that prevents head-on collision. In fact, a system that prevents the signal failure. So in a case where if a driver has overshotted the particular signal, then coverage system can actually prevent any sort of accident. But this line, in fact, the coverage system was not there on this particular line. Amitabh Sharma of Rail Ministry has clarified and has categorically mentioned that we are basically implementing the particular system on railway lines in phased manner, and this was not the case for this particular line. As of now, the whole focus on, of course, the rescue work, but Safety Commissioner is also leading an investigation in this particular matter, and in 2 days we are expecting that we'll get some sort of clarity as to if it was a signal failure, if there was a fracture in the rail, if it was a human error, and if human error, then it was an error from loco pilot or from the station master, Aisha.
Akash, let's also talk more about the coverage system that you were just touching upon. It's essentially technology to prevent head-on collisions. You're saying that it was not on this specific route and that it is only on selected routes. Why is that?
So Kavach has recently been introduced in Indian Railways, and as far as the system is concerned, so it works on the basis of radio frequencies. In Kavach system, you have to install the devices in the train, and other than train, you have to install those devices in the track as well. It works on radio frequency and as well as the 4G signals. We have been told that Rail Ministry is actually implementing the system in the Indian Railways in phase-wise manner, and talking about this phase-wise manner, so this particular section has not been covered in that particular system. In fact, Rail Ministry is saying that there is a broad plan to implement the particular system throughout the Indian Railways, but yes, covered system was not there. And in fact, opposition parties, we know that how Congress is attacking the government, saying that, you talk about cover system, you talk about, anti-collision system for your trains. But look what has happened. In fact, they are asking for the resignation of Rail Minister Ashwini Vaishnav as well, Aisha.
Now, considering that this is 16 hours and counting, rescue and relief operations are going to be concluding this evening. That's what the NDRF had said. Could you take us through what's been taking place when it comes to the rescue and relief operations throughout the entire day today?
So you see, whenever we talk about accidents like such, in fact, we have been told that, first train got derailed, and after that, second train rammed into those derailed coaches. And this is the reason why, in fact, there were several sort of challenges in front of the authorities and, in fact, in front of the agencies, because they had to get people out of those coaches. As of now, Railways is saying that from their side, the rescue work is almost complete. But yes, NDRF is somewhere mentioning that by this evening, they'll be wrapping up the whole, focus is also on clearing the track, because we know that how several trains have been affected because of it. Several trains have been diverted. We are learning that 40 trains have been diverted from this particular route. An alternate route has been taken. Several trains have been cancelled as well and short terminated as well. So thousands of passengers across Indian Railways are affected because of this particular accident. Yes, Aisha, helpline numbers have been established, and on several stations we have help desks where rail officers are constantly working, and in fact are informing the relatives of those passengers who were traveling in these trains. But this is very unfortunate. In fact, we are getting several sort of figures. More than 900 people are injured, and as far as the deaths are concerned, so this figure is getting changed on a constant basis. We'll get to know as to what is the final figure from the state authority, but as of now, more than 200 people is what we have been told have lost their life, and in fact, more than 900 are injured. Several, nearby hospitals, they have been, in fact, injured. People have been transferred to the nearby hospitals, and we are getting images from those hospitals as well. And, all people, including the ministers, including the rail officers, and also the local people, have gathered there and are trying to help these affected people.
Absolutely. Akash, one more follow-up question. Now, when it comes to what's happening at Balasore, that accident site over there, essentially rescue and relief operations are still underway. But from the railway side, as you mentioned, it is also concluding. And from the NDRF side, it's also going to be concluding this evening. When it comes to, once the rescue and relief operations are done, what's going to happen with the train bogies that have been damaged?
So, it is an operational question, because, a panel will be formed, and this panel will be deciding on the status of these bogies, because as far as I know, 19 bogies, in fact, 19 coaches were there initially that got derailed. And I'm learning that, because of that side-on collision, because of the second derailment, these bogies are not in condition to be operational once again. And this is the reason why this panel will be deciding on these bogies. But as of now, 19 bogies is what we have been told, that 19 bogies initially got derailed. In fact, the initial report that we have on the basis of our sources, these sources are telling that 19 bogies in total were affected. Some of them got derailed, some of them were very much there on the track but were not in condition, because the second train rammed into the first derailed train. So we'll get to know the final status in some time from now, Aisha.
All right, Akash, thank you so much for giving us that comprehensive look at essentially the visuals that you're showing us, and for giving us those details as well, those very important details when it